Do you know which phone we're using to filming this right now?
Google Pixel.
What do you think of it?
Ugly behind.
Ugly?
What, ugly?
Yeah, the back is terrible. Yeah.
When you say the behind is very important.
Yes, the back. The whole phone has to look nice.
Okay.
See, I'm a Samsung person. Have you seen the S8? That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I
It's
like the
really
purple one. The
Yeah.
case, that's
Then the
so
way it folds
beautiful.
around.
Okay, but except for the ugly like case of the Pixel phone, what do you think of the Daydream? The Daydream headset. Have you ever tried that before?
I've not tried the Daydream, no.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, I think I'd like to try the Daydream. I also like to try the Gear VR. 'cause
The
I
Gear
heard,
VR?
I heard the Gear VR was made with Oculus.
Right.
Yes.
They got the tech support from Oculus.
Yeah, so.
And
And I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
And awesome thing that we have both. We have the Daydream VR and we have the Samsung Gear VR. And you came here tonight to join our like game night, right? You play like 2 games. The Alice come play with me.
Emily?
No, Emily wants to play.
Oh, the
Yeah,
first one
Emily
is
can.
Emily wants to play. The second one is the price of freedom. Which one you like the most? The better.
The price of freedom
Why?
is better. You could interact with the environment way more.
Mm-hmm.
All the assets you could do something with, even if it was just throwing them around. I liked the way stuff was hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the way you could open cupboards. Everything about it was just nice.
Everything?
Yeah, everything about the second game was just
The second, I think the second,
price of freedom.
the price of freedom.
I thought it was well designed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
it's
first
well
one
designed,
felt kind of
definitely.
like just jump scares.
The first one was like the developer making a horror. I felt like they're just making a horror game to say we have a horror game, knowing that would attract some people. But like, there was no build up to anything. The way it even starts is like you see a figure. It's like that's so boring. Like, just introduce me to the apartment. Introduce me to the story. Why am I here? Is this my house? Is this not my house?
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Which parts is your favorite for the price of freedom? Like,
Price
what
of
do you like
Freedom.
the most for the game?
The physics, how you can goof around with the objects,
Yeah.
and also how you can throw things,
Why do you like throw things? Is that just your personal weird habit?
Because you can't throw things in real life.
You couldn't?
Well, not without people looking at you weirdly. Like,
Okay.
I can't take this and be like, because that would be not very nice.
Okay. So, can I say that in virtual world, you can do whatever you want? You can even be like, you can murder people if you want, and you can throw things away like that.
I just like interacting with objects in the virtual world.
Okay.
Because you don't really do that in modern video games.
Yeah.
At the most, you sort of like pick it up like in Gmod.
Mhm.
Right? So, actually holding and how you wave it around, it's like, it's a very different experience.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the ground shift of auto is the same thing, right? You can be like a shift in the game, but you couldn't, do it legally in your life, right?
Maybe. hmm
Okay.
Yeah, but like to Eric's point, like VR games add an extra dimension because with the other games, it's like the screen and
Mhm.
you, but in VR, it's like the world. You're there. Like the world is with you.
Mhm.
everywhere. So you can interact with stuff, throw stuff around. It's pretty nice.
Okay. Do you want to say something else, or you want to say something else?
You mean about the VR games we played tonight?
Yeah, just the whole experience.
Also, yeah, I agree with them.
Are you?
Yeah, it's just like one thing is like the Emily wants to play, so I think it's actually well designed. It's actually kind of hard. Don't you guys notice? Like we can't no one of us like ever survived to the second night. You didn't survive to the second night.
It crashed.
Yeah, it crashed. But then the thing is, it's actually hard. So if you want to play, so you are not afraid of a horror game, and then actually like Emily wants to play, it's actually a good game. It's like you need to think about it. You need to figure out like how to get survived. It's basically like a survival game. So more like a survival game. You need to think about how to survive.
Yeah, but I have a good observation. That is, I find most of the horror game can get the user so easily, like can shock you and surprise you so easily. Why is that? How comes that?
Because I think like if you are playing in a monitor, there's nothing gonna in the behind behind you is gonna pop out and like jump scares you. But in the VR game, you never know.
So it's
Like,
about the field of view, right?
yeah, it's like the 360
The immersive
view of it.
experience.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
an immersive experience. Like you never know. Like someone's like right behind you, but you're like, that one's standing there. It's so cute, but you never know. It's like there's a monster standing behind you. You never know, right? I
Okay.
think that's what make the like virtual reality game horror games like really scary.
Okay, you seems like have something to say.
Why would you think that I have something?
Okay, no. How about
Well,
you?
But I think right now the horror element in VR games is more like, you know how when 3D movies first came out, they just overused jump scenes with 3D things popping out at you. It's like
They-
knives thrown at you and stuff, right?
And it became a cliche, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but then later on they started using it like without throwing it in your face,
Okay.
right? And I thought that effect was much better.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because for the VR game, it's still like a starting like stage, and most of the way to shock you is just shock
Jump
you,
scare.
jump scare, right? And there's definitely more potential for make it better, right? We can think about this, right? What do you think?
Well, but I think in terms of horror in VR, people focus too much on traditional horror, whereas I saw like a VR experience that was literally somebody walking on a plank from like a building that was I don't know how many stories high, and that's scary because in real life, you're never gonna do that. But in VR, that's an experience you can go through. There are no ghosts, no zombies. It's just a real experience that you can live virtually without, attempting.
Yeah. Another thing is that for the horror game we played, what's the name of that again? I forgot it.
Emily wants to play.
Emily wants to play. That is actually one of the best horror game in in the HTC Vive platform. But you guys said that it's like too easy, and the content and storytelling and the physics, everything can be improved a bit, right? Did you find that the content of the VR game is so like limited there? Not many options for us to choose. Why is that? Have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's maybe like not many like games right now on the platform. Like maybe we need to develop more. I don't know, maybe like graphics or something about that. Yeah. So like if you want to choose like a PS4 and a VR game, like which one you could play for like a whole day? Like most of people would choose PS4. There's so many like well designed games on PS4, but not on VR.
Yeah, but another thing is that at the beginning of this game night, there are several girls joined us, right? But they got so shocked and they laughed because they don't want to play it, and the scary like level of the VR game is like higher than the traditional game, right? So, do you think that is like one of the reasons why people don't want to play the VR horror game because it's too scary, it's too immersive?
I think you're asking two different questions. Because the first question you asked, at least what I got from it, was why don't more people play? Like, why aren't there more games on like the HTC Vive? I think the problem with Oculus and the HTC Vive is the computing requirements, right? They require people to build a PC and all this. Have
Yeah,
some
the
crazy
money.
stuff, and like who does that? Who builds PCs
Me.
except really
Okay.
intense people about it? Whereas that's why I like again what Sony's doing with the PlayStation VR, because
It's like a bonus, right?
yeah, they have like 40 million consoles in the wild right now.
They have the server, the user already,
They
right?
have the users, they have the developer relations, and I think their library is pretty good.
The content for PlayStation VR is very good. So one of our members, he has a PlayStation and the PlayStation VR, and I tried it with it. The resolution for PlayStation VR is lower than the HTC Vive, but the rendering is a lot more smoother.
Did he have the PS4
The-
normal or the PS4 Pro?
I think it's a PS4 normal.
Okay, because they released the PS4 Pro to kind of help
Mm-hmm.
with that, so it has more GPU and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it should be smoother there, but you're saying something about like
The
smoothness.
trade-off, right? They sacrifice a little bit like resolution, but they get like a much more smoother rendering effect. And you guys said that the latency for like HTC Vive is kind of annoying, right? When sometimes your hand is frozen there, it's kind of weird. And I think the trade-off for resolution and rendering effect is something the company should consider. Find the right position to put it. Okay. Do you guys have any other topic you want to talk about? Want to cover?
I think one of the things about the Vive is that whenever it freezes, it sort of goes back to the menu. You know, the bluish, misty area?
It
You know what
doesn't
I'm-
fail gracefully, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everything becomes sort of transparent
Yeah.
and blue.
Yeah.
So
What do you
it's really-
think that the is supposed to be instead of the transparency and blue?
Like even if it were just frozen, it would be better than just fading out.
Um,
Because I would be doing stuff and then it would fade out and I would be like, huh? What's going on?
you just
right.
get back to the reality.
Yeah, sort of. I'm just like standing in a misty place and it's like, huh?
So you better like be frozen in the virtual world instead of getting back to the reality.
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting opinion.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think like developers should think more about how their like systems fail gracefully on VR. So if there's like for example, like let's say you have a game where you're walking through like an asylum or something. Like if they sense the game is failing, one thing they could do is like to Eric's point, remake the game but with like maybe a pill in your hand or something. So like it's part of the story even though the thing has failed, but you're still inside the story. They haven't like, it hasn't frozen or taken you out of the story, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, I feel like the company need to consider more the user's perspective
Yeah.
instead of taking it granted that something's supposed to be like that or that, right? Okay. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for coming. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you for your opinions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's probably much too long, right?
Yeah.